We're joining forces to defeat government corruption, restore free speech, and make America healthy again. We're going to make America healthy again, you know? We're a nation that is not doing well in a lot of ways, and we're not doing so well with health. We're going to get toxic chemicals out of our environment, and we're going to get them out of our food supply. We're going to get them out of our bodies.
Former President Trump and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. uniting with the mission to make America healthy again. Meanwhile, Time magazine now suggests ultra-processed foods really aren't that bad, despite publishing an article saying the exact opposite just 1 year ago. Here with reaction is Fox News medical contributor Dr. Nicole Saphier. Nicole, before I ask you for the definition of ultra-processed food so we can continue this conversation, the subtitle for that article is Why One Dietitian is Speaking Up for Ultra-Processed Foods. That just seems like such an oxymoron. Why don't you just give us the definition and then we'll have this conversation.
Yeah, some of these articles really are irresponsible in their messaging. And so when we're talking about food, obviously, you know, walking outside, getting your fresh fruits and vegetables and even animal products farm to table is the healthiest thing you could possibly do. But we also have a lot of minimally processed foods like olive oil, tuna fish, you know, because it's changed from its natural state and now it's put into oil or given some salt. But then what we're really talking about here are those ultra-processed food, which not only is changed from its natural state, but additives, chemicals, preservatives, and even dyes and artificial flavorings are now being added to it. Think of your pantry. If you walk into your pantry and something has a shelf life of more than a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of years, that's probably ultra-processed, and that's what we're talking here. And the truth is, Rachel, not all ultra-processed foods are equally bad for you, but the bottom line is it's all kind of bad for you. And so the messaging shouldn't be, well, they're not that bad. The messaging should be, how can we get healthier, more nutritious foods into the people's homes, and so they're not reliant on these cheaper, unhealthier alternatives.
Right, and in this article, this dietitian talks about she's concerned that we're shaming people, and in particular, they talk about poor people, and she makes the case that somehow well, first of all, we subsidize a lot of this ultra-processed food and therefore make it more cheaper for people who have tighter budgets on their food. That's a problem that the government's doing. But she also just says we're shaming poor people. They can't afford it. They don't know better. They just don't know how to make better choices. I found it very patronizing. It kind of reminded me of when they say, oh, brown and black people are too poor and dumb to get a driver's license or an ID card before they vote. What do you say to that? And what do you say to, you know, making this affordable for every demographic as a societal goal?
Listen, the harsh reality is ultra-processed foods have been linked to obesity, diabetes, cancer, dementia, and early death. They are not healthy for you. I mean, I'm glad to hear Make America Healthy Again is making its comeback. You know that was my first book. But the subtitle of that book was How Big Government and Bad Behavior Cause Trillion-Dollar Crisis. And that's what we are dealing with. I agree. If you go into an American supermarket, it is widely full of ultra-processed foods. 60% of the American diet constitutes of these ultra-processed, cheap and easy foods. If you look over at Italy, only 10% of their diet are these ultra-processed foods. That's why they have lower chronic illness rates and have longer lifespans. We as a country need to do something. We need to make sure that people have access to these healthier foods, and we can't just say it's shaming them because they're having it. We need to educate them, and we need to make sure that they have access. We need to support our farmers. Make it so that farm to table is more affordable for people. Our supermarkets need to have healthier options, and we need to do away with this big food industry that spends billions of dollars a year targeting a lot of these low-income families by ways of saying that it's kind of healthy. It's not healthy. We need to do better. Yeah,
RFK Jr. told me in an interview that we had that in Italy, you brought up Italy, that if you're poor and you have like government assistance for food, it works at the farmer's market, and that's the kind of stuff that we can do. By the way, on shaming, I just shamed Pete Hegseth out of ordering McDonald's. So well,
that's okay.
It works. We're ordering a slightly healthy breakfast. Thanks so much, Nicole. Always great having you. This topic, we're going to talk more about it because Make America Healthy Again is definitely become a campaign issue thanks to Trump and RFK Jr. So thanks, Nicole.
Thanks so much.
You got it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.